Hello, everyone. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, based on your time zones. I hope everyone is doing good and everyone is eager to go ahead and join our webinar, which is discussing about your you know security, the cloud, which is securing the cloud, unveiling the latest in the AZ-500, where we will discuss that what is the new things in the AZ-500, what is the happening in the AZ-500 in the particular course, what is about the exam, the weightage that has been shifted few months ago. So we'll be talking about all these things. Again, this webinar is hosted by InfosecTrain, and we keep hosting such webinars, so it will be beneficial if you guys will be joining our LinkedIn channel, YouTube channel. In the LinkedIn, you will be getting the all the latest update regarding the same. So let's just go ahead and start for the day. I will start with a bit of my introduction so that you can know a bit of your about your trainers. So myself, Rishabh Potyal, and I am having around more than 10 years of experience in the security domain, I would say, primarily. So I started my journey with the offensive security, then moving to the bit on the defensive side, and for almost around more than 5 years now, I am working on the cloud security itself. So when we talk about the Microsoft, yes, I have completed the AZ-500 as well, and I am also a MCT Microsoft certified trainer. So that's just a bit brief about me. Now, many of you who are connected with the InfosecTrain from a long time will be familiar that we provide a wide range of professional training programs, certification, and consulting service, very specifically in the cybersecurity domain and other IT services as well. Now, we will go ahead, and today we are all here to understand and discuss a bit of the thing about the your AZ-500. Now, today's agenda is going to all about that what is AZ-500. Obviously we are going to talk about this, what's new in the AZ-500. We will be trying to just give you a bit of the brief via the hands-on and other methods into the your what's new, some key topics that what they are talking about over there in the AZ-500. Things are again same, exam patterns question is almost similar. So what has been changed in the past, we will be seeing that. Then I will give you the time for the Q&A and the conclusion and the next step, how to book your exam and all. So let's just go ahead and start for the day, in the you're securing the cloud, unveiling the latest in the AZ-500. So we'll be starting with the importance of cloud security. Now, cloud security is of paramount importance in the digital landscape, as if you have seen organization, they increasingly adopting the cloud technology and migrating their critical asset to the cloud, making sure that the security and protection of data, application, and with this their infrastructure, it keep becoming crucial day by day. So again, in many of my webinar, I keep talking about the changes that we have seen after your pandemic, right? So in 2020, when we were hit by the pandemic, people were aware about the cloud, using the cloud, and already a big amount of the your net organizations on-premise traffic was start shifting towards the cloud. But that pandemic situation, it just accelerated the migration to the cloud more. Why? Because if even from the Microsoft Satya Nadella, if you will be seeing, there was a statement that they were preparing few things, are planning for the next 3 years, and due to this COVID they have to go ahead and do all the things, means reflect those changes within 3 months, because everyone was now sit at home. They want to work, that work from home become the cultural phenomena at that particular time. So companies, they also want to give their employees the easier way to go ahead, connect and access the resources. So this adoption, it become very crucial during that period. So with that, cloud, it offer numerous benefit like scalability, cost efficiency, flexibility, but it is also introducing unique security challenges to us. And cloud environment, they are complex and dynamic with multiple layer of infrastructure, service, and access point. And this complexity, it create vulnerability that cyber criminals, they can exploit to gain unauthorized access, compromise data integrity, and disrupt the services. So organization, they must establish robust security measure to safeguard their cloud asset from these threats. Now, this is where AZ-500, your Microsoft Azure Security Technology certification, it plays a vital role. So AZ-500, it equips professionals with the knowledge and skills that is necessary to secure the Azure environment effectively. So by earning AZ-500 certification, individuals, they demonstrate their expertise in implementing advanced security control, detecting and responding to the threats, and maintaining a secure cloud infrastructure. The role of AZ-500 is, we will say, the role of the AZ-500 is very pivotal when we come to the, talk about the security and the Azure as well. Firstly, it helps the organization establish a strong security foundation in their Azure deployment. So by following the principles and best practices that are covered in the AZ-500, organization, they can ensure that their cloud environment are protected, right? They can just make sure that their cloud environment are protected against any potential security breaches and the unauthorized access. Again, you know that means that's not 100% guarantee that never it is going to be breached, but yes, you will be prepared for that. Now, secondly, the AZ-500, it empower professional with the skill to identify and mitigate those security risks proactively. So they will learn how to implement the robust identity and access management mechanism, secure data and application, and establish very effective security monitoring and incident response strategy. So this knowledge is crucial in today's threat landscape, where attackers are becoming more sophisticated and prevalent. So finally, the AZ-500 play a vital role in maintaining compliance and meeting the regulatory requirement. So with the growing emphasis on data privacy and protection, organization need professionals who can navigate complex compliance framework and implement the necessary security measure to ensure your compliances. So, in summary, cloud security is critical for the organization to protect their valuable asset, maintain trust with customer, and meet the regulatory requirement. And AZ-500, as a comprehensive certification, equip professional with the skill and knowledge to implement robust security practices in Azure environment, detect and respond to threat effectively, and make sure compliances with the industry standard. So by pursuing the AZ-500 certification, individual contribute to the overall security posture of organization and play a significant role in securing the cloud over here. Now, if I will talk or give just an overview of the AZ-500, that what is in the AZ-500, so you will be familiar. If anyone who has in the past as well gone ahead and just access the overview, like what is the AZ-500, you might have come across these terminologies. Although these used to be earlier, prior to October 2022, you might have seen them as the domain as well over there. But still, it is the the core, the heart is specifically the same. So this AZ-500, if you have seen its full form, what this is called. This certification is known as the Microsoft Azure Security Technologies. So it is one of the prestigious credential offered by the Microsoft. It is specifically designed to validate the skill and expertise of professional in securing the Azure cloud environment. Now, AZ-500 focus on the various domain and the core area of the cloud security, making sure that certified individual, they have the knowledge and capability which is needed for effective security control, detect and respond to the threats, and maintain the secure Azure infrastructure. So it gives you the the idea into these four particular domains, what we can say, right? Or the topics what we want to know. So like IAM, just like in your on premises, identity and access management is crucial. And with the development of cloud, what you will start feeling, so always there was a security pillars, right? And when we are talking about the cloud security, IAM is emerging as one of the new and very important security pillar over here over the time period. So you'll be seeing that Azure, how they have implemented the identity and access management. And I will try to show you these things bit on the portal as well, so that practically as well you have the idea that what I am talking about. The demonstration, the portal, it will leave that long lasting impression on the mind of the candidates. So I will be showing you those things as well. So here I am, just like in your on premise that was important, it is also important into the cloud as well. And how Azure has implemented it, if you have come across with the terms like Azure Active Directory, right? AAD as well. So when we are talking about this, short form AAD, right? If you have heard this thing, even if you are using Microsoft Office 365 products, you are using the Azure, your identities will be created in the AAD, right? And this gives you the option, if you, in your on premises you are running the Active Directory, you can go and create a hybrid. You can synchronize the both directories as well. So there is going to be the Azure AD Connect, which will be helping you in that thing. So just like that, IAM is very important. And how to manage the Azure Active Directory, its configuration, authentication, and authorization mechanisms, to understand how you'll be implementing secure access control. So it focus on ensuring that only authorized individual can access resources and data within the Azure environment. Then second thing that it focus on is the platform protection domain. So it covered technique and best practices to secure Azure infrastructure and services. It include topic like securing virtual network, implementing firewalls, NSGs, protecting virtual machine, utilizing your Microsoft Defender for cloud for threat detection and prevention. Those kind of things it usually contains over there. Then for data and application security domain, which is dedicated to securing data and application which is hosted on Azure. So it covers areas like implementing data encryption, key vaults, how to secure storage accounts, and establishing some secure coding practices. So this domain makes sure that the data protected from any unauthorized access, and application they are built with security in mind. And finally, the security operation, it focus on the monitoring, detecting, and responding to the security domain in Azure environment. It cover topic like monitoring, okay, security monitoring, log analysis, incident response, and implementing those advanced threat protection mechanism. So this domain, it will equip professional with the skill to identify and mitigate the security risk, promptly responding to incident, and maintain the secure operational environment over here. Now, the significance of AZ-500 certification lies in its ability to validate professionals' expertise in implementing robust security measure within the Azure cloud environment. So as more organizations they migrate their critical workload to the cloud, the demand for skilled cloud security professional, it continues to rise. So by earning AZ-500 certificate, individual they can demonstrate their commitment to maintaining the security and integrity of your Azure deployment. So, the certificate, it will provide employer and the organization with the assurance that the certified professional, it possesses those necessary skill to protect their cloud asset, mitigate risk, and making sure that the compliance with the your industry standard that is going to be in there. So this is the bit just the idea that what it is all about. Now we will be looking into the latest, the weightage of the exam in the exam itself, right? So before that, there is a habit of before we see those contents and all, so latest update and enhancement in the AZ-500. So okay, if you have ever visited the page of AZ-500, it looks something like this. Okay, like right now they are not giving any kind of the a notification on the top, but you might have noticed every 2 or 3 months there is something like an update is popping up over here, which is saying the exam objective is about to be changed, or the domain is about to be changed or updated on this date, right? So every 2 or 3 months you will be seeing that this kind of thing is happening over there. So one thing is, so when we talk about the AZ-500 certification, it continually evolve to stay up to date with the ever-changing landscape of your cloud security. So Microsoft it regularly update and enhance to ensure that the certification it remained relevant to the aligned with the latest industry best practices, right? So that's why you will be seeing like here, they are letting you know. Okay, you will see here, important. The English language version of this exam was updated on the May 2, 2023. So review the study guide link, tip box, and the details. What are the changes over there? So you can see approximately in every 8 week after this, they will be updating this, right? So this is like I was telling you, they want you to be updated over all the time. So in the tip section as well, if you will go, you will see watch AZ-500 exam prep videos are also there, how to prepare for the exam, review the study guide, right? And demo of the exam, but there is going to be the exam sandbox as well. So before taking the exam, you can go to the exam sandbox, test out for yourself that how exam is going to be. So most of the time you will be seeing Microsoft, they try to keep it update the exam content, right? So it regularly review and refresh the exam syllabus to reflect the current state of the cloud security. So these update may include addition of new topic or the expansion of existing domain to cover the emerging security challenges in Azure. So by staying updated onto the latest exam content, AZ-500 certificate make sure professionals are equipped with the knowledge and skill needed to tackle the most recent security threat. And then another reason for that is integration with the new Azure services. So if you guys have noticed as well, if I will talk about simply the Azure Sentinel, right? So you might be seeing few more changes over the time. So from Azure Sentinel, it goes ahead and it changes its name to the something like Microsoft Sentinel. With that, its analytics rule, there was the changes. So earlier there was the simply the active one and the rule template section. Over the time what happened is in their service they added one more thing. So they added that machine learning. Okay, behavior analytics. Sorry, behavior analytics. So now that section it has a three part. It divided into the three section: active rule, rule template, and behavior analytics. Means three sections. So now what is happening? Their portal, their services are changing. So how you will be integrating? How will you be adapting to that? So for that, there is they have the region that they need to update this so that their candidate they can show professionally that what is happening, and many changes are about to come onto the Sentinel itself. Lot of the services they are changing. There is they introduced the DCR now, data collection rule. So how it will work, if we go back like 1.5 year ago, so there used to be security center, and everyone at that time used to ask me that Rishabh, whenever the AZ-500 stack calls I was taking, everyone was saying that Rishabh, are you going to cover the security center or not? So my answer was yes. So everyone was aware about that, and even till this date, many people come with the same query, but the name of this has been changed. The service is now more on par with the Defender series. So Microsoft Defender for Cloud. Its name is now this. Microsoft Defender for Cloud, right? So naming changes and a lot of the other service changes they keep happening. So Microsoft it continued to introduce new services and feature in Azure, and the 500 certification it align itself with these advancements, and it incorporate the security consideration and best practices related to the latest Azure services. So it makes sure that the professional they are very well versed in the securing the full range of Azure offering and can effectively protect their organization, and their cloud asset itself. And that's why it is again that updates those 8 week time window you will be seeing over there. Okay, and what is happening with the increasing sophistication and complexity of the Azure threat, the cyber threat? So this certification it places significant emphasis on the advancement of threat detection and response mechanism as well. So this thing this certificate it cover the utilization of Azure Defender for Endpoint, Microsoft Sentinel, and other tools as well, right? So these updates they reflect the growing importance of proactive threat management in the cloud security and equip those professionals with the skill needed to stay ahead of evolving threats. Like I also loaded one more feature that has been added over there, the MITRE, directly mapping to the MITRE framework. These things they keep updating. So that is the another reason for the changes that you might see frequently. So like someone was asking that cloud is always, changing on somehow. So yes, that's a good thing. It keeps us on our toes, right? So it makes us to do and keep researching onto the latest thing one after another. And again, another reason for that is going to be the industry compliances and regulation, right? So because it is focused on that as well. So cloud security is closely intertwined with the, your regulatory requirements like GDPR, HIPAA, and others. So the certification now they emphasize the understanding of implementation of security control to meet these compliance standard by addressing the compliance aspect. The AZ-500 certified professional, they can effectively secure cloud environment while making sure that adherence to the, legal and regulatory frameworks over there. So, these update and enhancement in AZ-500 certification underscore Microsoft's commitment to to providing those professionals with the most current and relevant cloud security knowledge and skill by incorporating the latest industry trends, Azure services, threat detection practices, compliances requirement, and certification prepares professional to tackle real-world security challenge in the Azure environment as well. Now, let's just go on to the next slide and see that what are the new certification area. So when we are talking about this, around I think Microsoft changed the their domain weightage and all way back into the I think 2020, and then towards the last of year 2022 they again changed, and this time they actually changed bit of the naming. Changes are also there that you might have seen. So earlier, like I was talking about the these four domain, they used to be like identity and access management, platform protection, data and application security, and security operation, in which earlier identity and protection management, that is going to have the most weightage. So I remember like when I think second or third time when I gave the exam, uh it just was having like 35 to 40% of weightage of this domain, right? And everyone start focusing on this particular domain itself, that what how we are going to cover with this, what is going to be in this one, and all these things. Everyone was quite behind this one. So now they have changed these things, and if you are not trusting me, or maybe things they change, where you will be finding these latest update, you'll be finding these latest update over here. Okay, always visit the page, you'll be finding all the latest changes over here. So it is same. You can just go ahead, check this one out. So the weightage and all, this is still on the similar note. Okay. So you can go ahead and always check out the official page if there are any changes. But I think the major changes they are kind of still for next 2 year. After this, we'll be working, you know, on the we'll be keep doing these kind of a webinar for you to understand that what are the changes. So now what happen is you will see almost all domain they become equal now. So now what they have done, that platform protection, that has been changed with the your secure networking, and some of its part has been shifted towards here as well. Okay, now what is happening? Manage identity and access management, IAM part, it is on the 25 to 30% of the weightage over here. So, these percentage, they indicate the relative weight of each area on the exam, and the higher the percentage, the more question you are likely to see in that particular area. So, secure networking, it is almost now 20 to 25%. Good thing. Okay. Now, secure compute storage and databases, so that is 20 to 25% again. And then there is the, your security operation. It is going to have your 25% to 30% onto this particular part. Now, while we are talking about these things, so IAM, what are these things? So let me just take you to the portal for a minute. Okay, and let me just a sec, give me a minute, and let me just do the login into the portal. Okay, let me just open here. Okay, now when I am going on to this particular part at my MCT account here. So first thing, identity and access management. That particular part is going to play with the Azure Active Directory most of the time. So when theoretically you will be learning that what is the difference between the your on-premise AD and the cloud AD. Things will be, it will be comparing that, I always say that it is more of a flat architecture over here, and you will be having the things like go ahead and user. Okay, you will be having the option of going ahead and creating something like app registration. Okay, performing creation of the group, adding the custom domain, lot of the settings, security setting, property setting, management, even the logs related to all this domain is, your AD is going to be in this place. So one of the simplest thing that I will show you now is how to create a user, right? Later on, giving this user a permission, okay, which permission this user will have. So all those kind of the things are going to be the part of the your all this AD part, creating the group. As a simple question in the exam you'll be saying that who can delete an account or VM, who can start a VM, stop a VM, permission related to them. So access control matrix and everything will be the part of it. So for that you need to go ahead and create a new identity. So create a new identity. How you will be doing that? Going to the user. Okay, so again from the very beginning, from the home page, top left corner you will see the portal menu. Find something like Azure Active Directory, go in there, add a user. In the user, I'm saying that okay, create a user right now. So and again, many of you might be finding UI changes as well. Okay, so UI it change over the time with the your one thing regarding the cloud is UI it keep changing, options they keep changing, right? So here I will give this the username, and yes, I will give something like the for example, let me pick any one of your name from the meeting, or let me just use the John. Okay, John Doe over here, or let's say Jane Doe. Okay, for example, and here I will create something like Jane Doe. Okay, so again, other things will be your optional, like putting the first name, the last name, auto-generated password you want, or you want to create your own password. It's up to you. You want to add it to any group, you want to assign it some role. So what you want to do, you can do this. So I have few group over here, right? So I can pick any one of these group, I can assign this user to that one group setting, that from where this will be using the job information, department, company name, manager. And once you create this user, you will have more option to do. So I'm not doing anything yet. I will be going with the your password, and I'm gonna keep the username and password both with me, so that if might be in future I will be using this this particular document anywhere, it can come a bit in handy for me, this account. So let me just create this one, and let me just keep just give me a sec. Let me just copy paste it on one of my file, so it is easier for me. Great. So I have copy pasted it. So great. So I will be simply clicking on create button, and now this user will be created. Successfully created the user. You can go to the user section now. It might take few seconds to reflect on the page, so just keep on reflecting. Now you can see Jane Doe, right? So you can go in here, you can assign some role to the Jane Doe as well. You can edit the properties, so you will see lot of the options you will be getting now, all identity related options, job information related option, contact informations, parental controls, the setting, are you when you'll be having a hybrid AD, are you going to sync it? So that is all going to be the part over here, right? So you can go ahead, add these details if you want, and make the user more interactive, so that you can create rules, filters on the basis of that. You can always have that option. With this, yes, I was showing you one more option, like there is going to be some role that you want to assign to this user. You can go to the assign, there will be administrative role, that any administrative role that you assign. So you can click on something like add the assignment to this role. Now there will be heaps of predefined roles that is going to be in there. So you can use any one of them. Like I want this user to be a user administrator, right? So I can select this, go ahead, add this particular kind of a thing, adding this as directly the role. Now there are more effective ways of doing this, and all practices are actually discussed in the Azure 500. That identity and access management domain, it is just dealing with such kind of the idea over here, that how you are going to do this thing, how you are going to handle this thing, all the scenarios, the stories, all those things will be related to this particular feature over there, that what you are doing, how you are going to do this thing. So this, all these kind of a things is going to be part of the identity and access management. Create a user, assign them the role, that is going to be the part. Now there is going to be the secure networking. So this secure networking section, it will be dealing with the your what I would say is VPNs, the firewalls, right? That how the firewall is going to work. What is when we talk about this thing. So in this domain, it is dedicating to securing using the in the infrastructure. Network is very important. So it covers those wide kind of topics, like including securing your virtual networks, implementing firewall and network security group. How from through the help of the network security group, how you can go ahead and configure secure access to virtual machine, right? And even sometimes it will be discussing that how to collect the some logs and all the details over here. So that is going to be in the networking part. So just like when you deploy a virtual machine, if I take you back to the portal, so there is going to be the virtual machine. Let me just grab one like this one. So with this, one of the very simple thing, this will be the networking setting. So can you add more than one network interface over here or not? With this, how you are going to perform the subnetting. This is the network security group and its rules. So this is the CSP VM1 energy. So inbound and outbound port rule, they specify what kind of the traffic you are going to allow. Like for this demo machine, I have gone ahead and allowed the RDP connection. From where, who can connect to this one, that kind of the rule you are just getting onto this one. Like this particular app, you are getting something like this, that what is there, how it is going to work, and everything is the part of this, right? So the rules, inbound rule, what you are going to allow, outbound rule, what you are going to allow, that is going to be there. So in the networking domain, you will read about them. You will be deploying resources like, if you have heard something like application gateway. Okay, so how to work with this? So what is application gateway? It is layer 7 load balancer. So how to deploy with it? You can attach a web application firewall with this one. Okay, so here, how to work with that, how the front door service will be working. It will be going and discussing about those kind of a you know topics over there. So WAF, implementing the WAF. So this domain is mostly deployed with the these kind of the networking resources, how you will be deploying VPNs, making the connection with that, and all these factors over there. Then what we have is the naming changes, that many of you who are familiar with the AZ-500 for a bit longer time, you'll be seeing that the name has been changed of the each domain as well. Now secure compute, storage, and databases. So one of the simplest thing is, again, so when we talk about this data security part itself, so it covers the aspect like implementing data encryption at rest and in transit, managing the Azure Key Vault for secure key management, securing storage account, and storage account, how you'll be securing them, and how to utilize these resources with the compute. Now here, one of the demo that they always ask is to deploy an official lab of Microsoft, is deploy a Azure virtual machine which is having the Azure anti-malware installed on that one. So what you will do, go ahead and follow the same practices. So select your resource group, give this machine the name, the demo VM1. You can go ahead and you can just have something like Windows Server 2022 running over here, two virtual CPU, 8 gigs of RAM. give it the username and password. Okay, and just for the temporary purpose, I'm just using this thing. Okay, I'm not going to create this machine, but I'm just showing you the option, right? So like this. Okay, uh, it will keep giving me error if these things, they do not match. So I don't want that to happen. Okay, they match. Inbound port rule, disk option, keeping them as it is, networking as it is, management as it is. So while you are deploying, you can go to the monitoring. I can disable this thing. I don't want that. In advance, we need to select an extension. And when you go, you will be seeing like chef extension, multiple monitoring extension, automation extension over here. So you will scroll down and you will load some more, and you will be seeing there is going to be something like Microsoft anti-malware. You will select that one, go on to the next, and discuss that when you will be performing the scanning onto the system, do you want to exclude any file and location, or exclude any file extension from there, or exclude any process from there? Do you want to enable real-time protection? Do you want to run a scheduled scan? What kind of a scan type you want, a quick or a full scan, when this should run, and what time you want to give this one to go ahead and perform that your scan. So what, like 120 minutes to perform this whole scan you will give, and you will be simply go ahead and click on this create. This will be added, and then you will go ahead to the text, review and create a machine. So this is one of the official labs in the protecting the network over there, right? So these are the few simple things in the control. Now with that, they will be also discussing something like your databases. Like I will be having one database running right now, okay, over here. So what you can do is, like, there are different security settings, so it will talk about these settings: auditing, how to perform data discovery and classification, dynamic data masking, and doing the vulnerability assessment of your SQL database with the help of your Microsoft Defender for Cloud. Okay, so you need to enable that particular feature in the Microsoft Defender for Cloud, that go and protect the SQL databases, and you can get the VA done for your resources. So that is the the things that it is covered. So how to securely use the database, storage account, right? Using the secure key, how you'll be working, how the working with the key vault. So all that is going to be the part of this discussion of the domain 3, which is having a weightage of 20 to 25%, and which I guess is a lot. If we talk about the topics, a lot of topics in there. And in the end, security operation. So most of the time, security operation, two things which we keep focused is, first is going to be the Microsoft Defender for Cloud. So earlier, this was known as the security center. This was known as your security center. So as you can see, it is more of a cloud security posture assessment. Okay, and now what it is giving me, it is giving me the my ideal secure score. I can also connect my AWS and GCP kind of account over here as well. And this is just simply going to go ahead and discuss about these factors, these facts that are in here. So how you can do, so what are the some recommendation from there. And so if you want that regulatory compliances like we keep talking about, so this help with that as well, that if you want to apply and check that your infrastructure is PCI DSS compliant or not, ISO 27001 compliant or not. So it can help you with that as well. It can help you with performing your VA onto the your infrastructure that you have created, the machines you have, the secure databases you have, protect your containers, the web apps, the Kubernetes. So it is a doing performing all kind of a things that is over here. First that you focus is this. Second thing you focus is the Sentinel. So there is an overview of Sentinel, that how Sentinel is working, what Sentinel is getting, and all those kind of a things. So yesterday I had another webinar on the Microsoft Sentinel. So I hope some of you have joined that one as well. So yesterday from 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. Indian Standard Time, I was having the same webinar on the Microsoft Sentinel. So I hope that some of you have joined. If not, in few days you might find it is going to be uploaded onto the our InfosecTrain's YouTube channel. So go there, subscribe the channel as well. That will be helpful. And getting these all updates over there. And already I have in the past as also I have conducted these Sentinel related boot camps, KQL related boot camps. And from the Monday, we are launching one of the public batches for the Sentinel as well. So you will getting these all information from our LinkedIn page, from our YouTube's as well. Now, while we are talking about the security operation, again it focus on use of the data connector. It will be using of the workspace and all over there, right? We will be talking about all these particular parts like incident, workbook, notebook, all these things onto the particular scenarios over there. So how to use them, a quick overview this course will be taking a quick overview onto this whole thing. So there is going to be the security operation for you. So this is the weightage, and the names and all these things, they actually you know change after a long time over here, right? So this is something that is all there. And guys, already like we were talking about like deep dive into the key topics. I think without even showing you this slide, we you know kind of deep down into the all topics. We talked about the ADs, the Sentinel network security group. I was showing you a defender for cloud, which is the working with your Azure threat protection, protecting, detecting. It is also going to detect the threat. So if you will be seeing right now, if I will take you back to that defender for endpoints, you will see some of the security alerts for me. So it gives the to all the threat connection over there, like threat protection, like it will be giving you these alerts. Where are the alerts? Come on, show me here. Like suspicious WordPress theme invocation detected, phishing content hosted on a web apps, suspected Azure brute force attack attempt. So you are seeing, so it is going to detect all these kind of the collect the all the logs, integrate them, alert, give you the alert and investigate. You can detect, you can you can analyze the whole scenario over here, right? So these things are actually very useful while we are this defender for cloud is very useful. So this threat protection that is provided to you is onto this particular part itself. So when we are talking about this, the these topics are very important, like secure network implementation. We were talking about the firewall, network level, controls to protect your resources, how to deploy them. All these are going to be the part of this security monitoring and respond, right? Large scale, in the large scale Azure deployment, continuous security monitoring is crucial. So by configuring Azure Monitor and Azure Log Analytics, organization they can collect and analyze logs from various Azure resource and application, and this enable the detection of suspicious activity, like I was talking about brute force or unauthorized attempts, unusual data transfer, right? So security team they can set up the alert based on the predefined rule, or also create their custom query to identify such events in the future itself. Okay, so this is just the idea that what is going to be in the AZ-500 and its topics over here. Now, what I will talk about is I will just give you the few exam preparation tips. Okay, so just from the my end, if you are preparing for the AZ-500 certification exam, so there is some tips from my end, and I try to highlight them. That's what is going to be there. So very first thing is understand the exam objective. Now start by thoroughly reviewing the official exam objective which is provided by the Microsoft. Understand what topic and domain that are covered in the exam and prioritize your study accordingly. This is going to help you to focus your effort on the area that carry more weight in the exam. Second, utilize official study material. So now what Microsoft they start doing is even for the trainers, They are not giving those PDFs. So what they are focused on their learn portal, and where you will be finding here. So on the same AZ-500 page, if you scroll down, these are the learning path portals. So these is more than necessary topics to make you clear the exam. So you will see the whole path will be here. So you can go step by step reading the books. You can see that how to deploy the Azure AD domain service, how the DS it works. So this is going to be the whole in there, right? A complete series, right? So this is going to be this particular part, deploy Azure AD domain services. So go and utilize these things. So Microsoft offer the official study material, online courses, documentation, practice exam. Like I was showing you the exam sandbox. Click, yeah, here, exam sandbox over here. Okay, so which is specifically designed you to help to prepare for the AZ-500 exam. So take the advantage of these resources as they align closely with the exam content and provide the reliable information to you. So you will use this thing, right? Now in the end, there is going to be the your hands-on experience. Okay, so there is if we move ahead from here, hands-on experience. So while theoretical knowledge is essential, practical hands-on experience is equally important. Setting up the virtual lab environment to leverage the Azure's free trial, to gain the practical experience with the Azure portal, services, security feature, practice implementing security control, configure monitoring solution, and responding to the your incident. Now practice with the sample questions. So practice exam and the sample questions are excellent resource. When we talk about this, one thing. Okay, that was the one. Sorry, I just got carried away. Suddenly saw this. Point 6.1, which is actually a good one, like practice with the sample question. So practice exam and sample question, they are excellent resource for gauging your knowledge and familiarizing yourself with the exam format. So Microsoft, they provide official practice exam, but you can also find other reputable source offering sample questions, aim to simulate exam condition, time yourself, and analyze your performance to identify area where what is important over there. Okay, so not only that, so after hands-on, what else you can do is scenario based questions like real world security challenges you can seek as well. Once you go through all the things, you can reinforce the understanding of concept, develop some problem solving skill to yourself. So why other hands-on labs are important? If you have seen exam pattern, so there are few lab based question as well. Okay, so you know that which options stand where. Like simply they ask that you need to enable an encryption on the storage account or disable an encryption. So you should be familiar where to do that. They ask you to turn it onto the you know uh, your storage to hot tier to cold tier. So you should be familiar where to go, right? So that's why hands-on is important. With that, you can use supplemental your learning resources. So in addition to official material, you can always explore the learning resource like book, blogs, video tutorials, these things, right, which can provide an alternative explanation, real world example, and some practical tips as well. So you can engage with the certification community by joining this study group, participating in forums, or discussing the boards dedicated to the AZ-500 certification, collaborating with the peers who are also preparing for the exam. It can provide valuable insight and clarify the doubts as well. Okay, now with this, review the documentation and update. Okay, like I was telling you that today we were talking about the whole thing, that updates, why it is important, the weightage that has been changed. So keep your eye out for that. So why? Because it will be there will be the changes on the Azure documentation, security best practices, and update from the Microsoft. So you can look for Microsoft security blogs, Azure update, and Azure security center documentations, right? So all these things will be helping you out. With that, time management, very important is time management. So create a study plan and allocate a dedicated time for exam preparation. Set realistic goals and milestones to track your progress. Break down topics into the smaller chunks and dedicate the specific time slot to each domain that can help you to manage your study time effectively. And then exam strategy. Familiarize yourself with the exam format using that sandbox, including the number of questions, the time limit, and scoring method. During the exam, carefully read the each question because that is important. There will be a lengthy question, so you need to read and understand what it is asking. Eliminate any obvious incorrect option first, and then prioritize your answer based on your knowledge and reasoning. Remember, everyone's learning style and pace that is going to be different. So adapt these tips to suit your performance and need. Consistent effort, hands-on practice, and comprehensive understanding of exam objective will significantly enhance your chances of success in AZ-500 certification. So one thing that I would have to say is good luck with your exam preparation over here. Okay, so these were the tips. So today we started with the understanding that what is the importance of cloud security, what is the role of AZ-500. I give you the overview of AZ-500, the latest update and enhancement, why they are there. Then we talk about the certification area. I show you some of the simply how to create a user, how to activate assign a role, or simply I was trying to just give you the idea practically as well that what is there, just an overview onto the security, sentinel, defender for cloud, these things only, right? So I was trying to give you those kind of the idea, and then in the end I was just giving you the some tips for that. Okay, and this will conclude our particular session itself. So for now I will be just saying that thank you so much for joining in. Best of luck. Cheers, stay safe, stay healthy. And if you have any doubt, you can always reach out to us. We will try to help you. We will conduct same webinar for you so that you can improve your knowledge and have the clarity on the multiple things. Thank you so much for joining in, and best of luck from the InfosecTrain.